Hello everyone, my name is Bryan Ong and I'm the founder of a digital advertising agency called Methodb, and we serve clients mainly in the APAC region, and right now we have campaigns running in 9 or more countries already. And just to give you a personal intro as well, I have been in the digital marketing space for about over 5 years already. And throughout my career and in my company that I set up, I have managed over a few $1 million in advertising spend across multiple channels. And yeah, so today I just wanted to share with you a tutorial, a step-by-step tutorial on how to run your own Google Ads search campaign that is updated to 2020. And this is a very popular platform that many companies are using right now. And I know that, during this trying period that we're going through currently, this year, it is good that we find out another way for us to promote our products, for us to learn how to put ourselves out there and our products and services out there as well. And this tutorial hopefully will be able to make Google Ads as a platform that is easier for you to use, not so much hassle, and making it easier for you to understand and not so intimidating. So just to get you started right here, first you have to go to ads.google.com, that is ads.google.com. Google AdWords was the previous name that it goes by, and now I think they did a new rebranding, and now it's called Google Ads. So once you are here, you just simply click on Get Started, and then so long you're signed in with Gmail, you'll be able to start using Google Ads immediately. So once you are in the platform already, you will see this page over here, and then you will see New Campaign, and they will ask you what's your main advertising goal. So with that, I believe that this platform right here is, so you can see that there are two different interface in terms of, this more basic one, and then at the bottom you can see switch to expert mode. Now I will go through the tutorial in the expert mode because I will be explaining, most of the features that you'll need right here. So let's go to expert mode. And you will see all of these different options. I know it can be very confusing because many of the options here seem very similar. But I would say that at the very beginning, what you should be doing is to click on website traffic, because I think majority of everyone here who's watching the video would definitely want traffic over to their website, be it to purchase or for B2B where they can acquire their service. Because later on, then we will be touching on how to install pixels and things like that, probably in this video or the next video. Let's see how we go later. So let's click on website traffic, and then you can see that there are many different campaign types over here. So you can see search, display, shopping, video, and discovery. So search is basically, for example, you were to go search for, say, men's watches, then you will be able to see what are the top advertisements here. So you see we have a couple of brands right here that's doing the advertisements, and this will basically be what we'll be creating today. This is called a search advertisement, and you'll be able to rank all this together with your competitors, or probably just for your own niche. Okay, so let's go back to the screen earlier. So that is search, as I explained, and then this is display. For display wise, it is mainly about all the GDN banners or the Google Display Network banners that you will see on third-party websites. Like you will see articles, and then suddenly you will see like a banner right there. That is a display banner, and that is something that you can do with Google Ads as well. So I will go to search over here, and then I will just try to type. I'll just try to go into probably men's watches. Okay. So let me just go into men's watches now.com. So I don't really know whether we have this website or is this a legit website, but let me just put it here just for the sake of showing you an example. We will create a conversion action, but I will go into that step later. So basically a conversion action is basically to track people make a purchase, like adding to cart, checking out or basically purchase. So we will be creating this conversion action later. So let's go through the next step first. Let's press on continue. And you will see that we have a campaign name over here. So you may want to consider, normally in terms of agencies, the step that we will do is basically to name it by country. So assuming that you are targeting country by country, which I would recommend as well, because different countries have different nuances in terms of the CPCs or the cost per click, and different demands as well. So it is easier to control your campaign and the budget according to country. So let's just say we are targeting for the sake of Singapore, okay, or it can be for any country as well. So now I understand that, you know, like even though I serve APAC clients, but this definitely works for all markets, whatever that I'm going through. So I hope that this can be of help to you guys. So you can go into SG or any country code that you want, and you can search for and you can run generic campaigns. So in the world of Google AdWords or Google Ads, we have two different categories of Google search terms, one of which is called generic and the other one of which is called branded. And of course we have competitors as well, but we won't go into that today. But basically generic is basically, so in the context of men's watches, it will be buy men's watch, buy men's luxury watch, price of men's watch discount. So all these are kind of like the generic keywords where normal people will be searching for, that doesn't relate to any brand at all. So now, for example, you want to promote your own brand, even though people know your brand, but you want to show up on top of your own organic results because you want to show certain ad copies, and we do that as well. So then you can go into branded keywords and then name it as branded. So for example, your company name and you sell men's watches is called Chrono Singapore or Chrono US. Then you may want to just put all your keywords like Chrono US price, Chrono US review, Chrono US watches. These are all branded keywords. But today, right now, I will be going through with you the generic keywords. So I'll be using generic over here. And it will be good for us to create keywords and separate that according to the different match types. I'm just going to put broad over here for now, and I'll explain to you what are broad keywords later. So next, you will see the networks. So networks wise, I would recommend, say for example, your budget is a little bit small, and you want to, and by small, I mean maybe a few $100s per month to $1,000 per month to about $2,000 per month as well. I would highly recommend that you do not click the include Google Display Network, and you do not click the include Google Search Partners as well. So you mainly just show your advertisements on the Google search. So in that way, you'll be able to be running your campaigns more efficiently. So this is the start and end date. Normally, I wouldn't put an end date to that because I will just manually go into the platform and then to pause the campaigns as I need to, which I'll show you later as well. But should any case you want to be able to set an end date so that you don't have to log into the platform, you can just go ahead and set an end date as you like. And then there you have it, the end date. You don't have to care about this for now. And in terms of locations wise, targeting and locations and audiences, depending on which location you want to target into, say for example, we were to target Singapore, then this is the location that you want to target. And then it will always be good to look into location options. Now, I think location options will be more useful for people with limited budget and you don't really exactly looking to scale right now. You just want to start your first campaign. So you'll want to go into target and then to select people in or regularly in your targeted location. So this means that people in Singapore or regularly in Singapore, because you wouldn't want people who are overseas and being interested in the Singapore brand, but may not have the intention to purchase. So the assumption here is that, people who are in your market are more inclined to purchase. Now, should you think that you are more going towards overseas market, you don't really care about, what locations, as long as they care about where you are at, then of course select this option, but otherwise you should go for the second option here. So in terms of excluding, you can just leave it as it is. And should you want to exclude as well, you will be able to exclude locations by clicking enter another location and then to say type in Malaysia or anywhere and then just click on exclude. And then meanwhile, for target locations wise, you can just you can just type Singapore here and you can just type target. So right now you have target location Singapore and excluded location Malaysia. And you can also do, for example, geo-targeting as well. So radius of whichever radius that you want to target. So say, for example, you want to target a specific place in Singapore. So say you want to target Orchard Road in Singapore. So you can type Orchard Road here. Sorry, Orchard, Singapore neighborhood. Okay, let me try another option. Let me go to advanced search over here and go to radius. That should show that. Yeah, so you can go to advanced options and you can go to radius and then you can just type Orchard Road. And of course you can put in, what is the radius that you want. Normally I would say that depending, should you have any outlets or any locations, you can just put like 2 or 3 km in a radius, and I think that will already be sufficient. So you can see that this radius over here is targeting 3 km around Orchard Road. And that will be sufficient for you in terms of targeting people in this location as well. So save that. And then in terms of language wise, I would say that should your landing page be in English, then it is better to just stick with English and not go into multiple languages. For example, you have campaigns that's running in Indonesia, then maybe you want to look into Bahasa and English, 2 different variations. Should you look into the Vietnam market, you want to go into Vietnamese. And should you want to go into other markets like Japan and Korea, then it will be good that you can use local languages as well. So audience is something that is rather advanced, but I will just go through it very briefly over here. So I would say think sort of in terms of your target audience. Are they people looking to, are they of a certain age group? Are they of a certain demography that you're targeting? Are they interested in, say, you want to target B2B businesses, and then they may be interested in, CMS, content management systems. They may be interested in accounting software. And when you want to go into C-levels, they may be more affluent and they may have a team. So you may want to go into recruitment as well, into kind of like peripheral targeting options. So say, for example, we want to target business owners. And you may want to see that, we have in-market audiences, business financial services, and, business loans and event planning. And so we have many options over here that is able to sort of target them. So just to take note here, the reason why I'm going through right now is so that, you can have more insights into the data that you're collecting. So you'll be able to see, okay, so there are 2 options over here. Audiences targeting setting for this campaign. So there's a targeting over here and observation. So observation is normally recommended because, as I mentioned, once you select all these things into your campaign already, with all the categories that you have, and you can even go into subcategories as well, you will then be able to see, how many clicks are coming from people who are interested in business and industrial products. How many people, how many impressions or how many conversions or purchases you have from people who are interested in business services. So this doesn't limit the people that you target. So you'll still be targeting everyone in the market as you specified, but it will just show you this observation that, hey, under these categories, you have the targeting under these places. So it will not limit your targeting in any way. It will not narrow your targeting in any way. It will be basically showing to everyone, but then specifically for these categories, it will show you data under these targeting options. So that will allow you to better understand your consumers. That will allow you to better understand, where exactly your clicks are coming from. So in terms of budget-wise, I would say that in terms of budget, should you be able to, a good budget will be about $1,000 per month to say even $2,000, $3,000 per month. But should you be really tight on budget, then I think the minimum that you should be going for is about $300 to $500 per month. So that works out to be about $10 a day or $15 a day. The reason why is because that should you have a budget that is too low, like $3 a day, what happens is that because each click will be about 50 cents to $1, then you will literally just run out of budget just from 3 clicks. So every morning you wake up, 3 clicks, that's it. And then by noon, you wouldn't have any more traffic going to your site anymore. So it is better to have sort of, some buffer where you can get like more runway, where you can get like 10 clicks in a day with at least $10. So let's just put $10 for now. And then they will ask you over here at the next option, bidding. So for all the keywords that we are putting up there, this is all a live auction and it's all controlled by an algorithm behind Google Ads. So there are a couple of options over here as well. You can choose to go for clicks, other optimization options or impression share, but I won't go into that in detail in today's tutorial. I'll probably go into that in the next ones. So let's select clicks for now. And should you be sort of have a sense of or put a guess of how much per click, or you have an internal threshold of how much each click should be, you can put a lower amount, say that you want $1 for every click. That will be the bid that you'll be going for, even though you'll be ranking lower as compared to your competitors in the search results, but at least you'll be able to get about 10 clicks per day. So say you want to be right at the top, then we will have to do some kind of analysis later to see what is the bid that is required for you to get to the top of the competition. So let's go into the ad schedule as well. So for this one, actually, you'll be able to select which times of the day you can control your advertisements to come into. And normally I would do this in terms of sort of only choosing this when I know already have business data on when normally my customers come into. At certain time frame, maybe about 2-3 a.m. people are just scrolling, they don't really have the intentions to buy, and you may just want to exclude that timing over there. But this is something that is completely up to you. As a beginner, I would say that let's keep the ad schedule to all hours. And then you have site links, core extensions, and core extensions. This one I won't be going through in this tutorial, but I'll be going through probably in the next ones. This basically makes your advertisement larger. It basically increases your ad asset size, and basically you have you occupy more space and you push your competitors below the fold. So let's click save and continue. And right now you have your first ad group, and you don't have to choose the dynamic, just choose standard over here in terms of the ad group type. So this one probably will just put men's watches. And in terms of the keywords wise, you can see that keyword you have broad match, and it doesn't have any sort of parentheses or square brackets right here. And a phrase match, you have parentheses here, and exact match, you have square brackets here. So let me explain what is broad match. So for example, you were to type in men's watches. So this means that when you type in men's watches, you'll be triggering keywords such as buy men's watches. So that means when people type into, so that means when people are typing into Google search buy men's watches, it will also trigger your keyword as well, even though your keyword is men's watches. So it basically expands the keyword set that you're targeting. The only downside to this is that because you're not very specific, you're not very targeted into the audience that you want to target, or the keywords that you want to target, sorry, it basically reduces the quality of the clicks that you will get, but it allows you to get the reach that you want. So that is men's watches, and you also trigger maybe other search terms like men's watches reviews, or even like men's watches, say Casio or anything. So you will be able to trigger other kind of keywords that is popular and it relates to the keyword that you type there. So in terms of the parentheses wise, so say you were to type into men's watches right here, then basically it will trigger only keywords, search terms that will contain that set of keywords. So say for example, people type in buy men's watches. Now because this buy men's watches already contains the men's watches, so you will be able to capture this audience with that keyword. But say you were to type in men's, say you were to type in watch reviews buy, you will not be triggering this keyword because it doesn't contain the word men's watches. So this is the good thing about parentheses, because it can capture longer tail keywords, like for example, where to buy men's watches. So through this where to buy men's watches, you'll be able to capture the demand as well because it contains the words men's watches. So then basically you'll be able to target this audience as well. So this is just to give you an example of what does the parentheses means in terms of the phrase match. And then we have exact match. So exact match wise, you'll be using square brackets, and at the start and the end is the same as well for parentheses. You have to include it with the keywords in between. So say men's watches, and you have buy men's watches. So that means that this is something that will only trigger when the consumer types exactly the keyword that you're seeing right here. I think they will also trigger keywords like men's watch without men's watches, or man watch, which is kind of like a slight deviation from what we typed, but this I believe it will still trigger. However, for keywords that is like men's watch review, it will not be triggering men's watch review because it does not contain the exact set of keywords. And for buys men's watches as well, say for example, somebody type buy men's watches price, this will not trigger as well because it doesn't contain exactly the set of keywords that you have. But should someone type men's watches or buy men's watches, then definitely it will show up. So because the earlier campaign that I set up are all, for example, are all broad keywords, so I'm just going to type a few right now. So these are, for example, some of the broad keywords that you can be showing up for. And I would say that even though you can use, say, Neil Patel's Neil Patel's tool like Uber Suggest, or go into Keyword Planner to find your first set of keywords. But I would say that in order to, at a first level, to come up with your keywords, I would say as the business owner, what are the keywords that you think your customers will be typing for? And I think, and I believe one very good way to look at this will be to be typing for men's watches, and then to look at the autofill over here, men's watches brands, men's watches Amazon, men's watches Singapore, to see what keywords in the autofill for the Google search that is present here that makes sense for you, that you can use as well. So for example, when you see at the bottom over here, you'll be able to find sort of men's watch brands. You can see all of the keywords here, men's watches under $100. So you'll be able to tap into all these keywords just from looking at Google search. And all this will give you sort of different combinations of keywords that you can use. So normally how I do it is that I will identify different combinations of keywords. So for example, I'll identify reviews is a keyword that people may type into a popular keyword, prices, or men's watches or women's watches, or Singapore is also a keyword, location as well. So there are a couple of keywords that you can combine and sort of permutate together to give you the best combination. So in this case, when you're typing out the keywords wise, you just want to be sort of, is the analogy that I will give here is just casting as many nets as you can in terms of the keywords, but sort of keeping your number of keywords per ad group to be about, say, 50 keywords or less, so that it's able to sort of control and help you to filter down so that you don't really put everything out there as well. Should you have more budget, should you have more runway with the number of clicks, maybe you can put like 100 keywords into one ad group and then monitor and pause from there. So I'm going to click save and continue over here. Oh, before that, I also want to explain that the keywords that you bid here, it actually is a different set of keywords than what customers may be exactly searching for. So there is actually a gap between what you type over here and a gap between what the customers are actually searching for in Google AdWords. Now, the main purpose of us thinking of keywords here is to make sure that we close the gap between what people are searching for and then what we are bidding for in a way that is efficient for us for our spending. So I'm going to click save and continue, and I'm going to go to create ads over here. So this is just a testing URL that I'm using right here, so pardon me for that. And headlines wise, I would say it is good to put your company name. So for example, you are selling watches and your company name is called Chrono SG watches. I should probably change these to Chrono SG watches. Sorry about that. So under headline 2, maybe you want to put things like free delivery under $200. Use promo code. Actually, promo code, there is another ad extension that you can use as well. But just in case, say for example, you are not using that, you can say use promo code 2020 watch. So you can be using promo codes here as well. But otherwise, you can also put, say for example, handcrafted using best materials. Oh, we are exceeding the target. Handcrafted in Singapore. So for example, this is a headline that you can use, and you can see that headline 1, 2, 3. This is headline 1, headline 2, headline 3. Now, not all headlines will be showing at the same time. Sometimes they will show 1 and 2, sometimes they will show 1 and 3, sometimes they will show 1, 2, 3. So it really depends. But mainly what you want to do over here is to have your main selling point, your main USP, and to have a strong call to action or a strong value proposition. So display path over here would be, say, what you want to put at this display URL extension over here. So maybe you can say men's watches. So this is something that you can put, or you can put like collection watches. So under description wise, this is 90 characters and 90 characters here. So one thing to note as well, should you be targeting the Taiwanese market or the Chinese speaking market, some of the characters have double bytes. So whatever that you are typing here, say you have 30 character count, 30 character count, 30 character count, 90 over here, all will be reduced by half. So it is important to know what language you're using so that you can keep to the character count correctly. So under description wise, you may want to type handcrafted with the best materials, with tourbillons, and in-house movements. I'm just typing on the fly. So basically you will have to type in, what is, the content that makes you unique for your company. And then you can put in a strong call to action here as well. Say that maybe limited releases, order yours today. I would say that in terms of all of the content here, try not to repeat yourself a lot between the headlines and the descriptions. And of course, put in strong call to action. You can even put an exclamation mark over here as well. But do not put exclamation marks here at the headline. And do not put too many exclamation marks here at the description and description too. I would say that put 1 or 2, that will be the maximum. And then do utilize as many of the characters as you can, because that will help make your advertisements larger. So done, and create the next ad, and then you're going to do the same. And then we have responsive search ads over here. Okay, let's see. So you have responsive search ads over here. This one, basically, it gives you all of the options that that you can put in here. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you can add more here as well. And you'll be able to come up with all different kind of permutations of headlines right over here. And basically, you'll be able to also pin the position as well. So say Chrono SG Watches is your company name, and you want to make sure that it's always showing at the front under headline 1. So you can pin it in position 1. And all this will be randomly selected by the algorithm in all kinds of permutations to give you the best combinations, so as to give you the best results as well. So under the descriptions here as well, you can also come up with multiple variations, and they will just permutate and combine and give you the best combination where you are able to save the most cost on. So let me delete this and cancel this as well, so as to save time, and then we can go into save and continue. So in this page itself, you'll be asked to fill in the promo code and also the card details and billing address over here. I would say that there are a couple of promo codes outside where you can get $75 ad credit or $100 ad credit, depending on where you find them. I think sometimes when you sign up an account with Google AdWords, they will send it to you after a while, and then that can be something that you can use to offset your advertising costs. Now I'm going to fill this up, and then I'll come back in a while. Okay, so now we are done, and then you will see this screen. Congrats, you're all done, and explore your campaign. Just click over here, and so you'll be greeted with this very intimidating platform with all of the buttons at the left and all of the interface over here. So what you should be seeing, what you should be clicking in the very beginning, I believe that, okay, maybe I'll just go through this whole interface over here. So the tools that you see at the top right corner here, it will basically be all of your settings and tools. And the left panel over here will be in terms of at the aggregate level. So it's not by campaign, it's not by specific ad groups. So you have to be able to categorize them within each of the things that you click over here. So let's first go to campaigns. And under campaigns wise, you will see that we have a campaign running right now. And I just paused it. And to pause and to enable, you can just go here, the drop-down menu, pause and enable it. But I'm just going to pause it here because it's a test campaign. So you would see that this is the campaign name that we've given. And here you can see that this is the budget they've allocated per day for this particular campaign. And then you will see the status is paused, how many clicks, impressions, and click-through rates, and average cost per click, and then to maximize clicks as well. So I would say that before I continue further, there is actually 3 different levels that you need to understand in terms of Google Ads. So number one is the campaign level, where you have the campaign, the budgets, and the campaign naming. And then you have the ad groups as well. So ad groups, you can have multiple ad groups in each of the campaign, right? And then under each of the ad group, you would have multiple keywords. You will have maybe 50 keywords in each of the ad group, or 10 keywords, depending on what you prefer. And then within the ad group itself, you will also have a set of advertisements or ads. So let me just click through and let you see. So under campaigns, you will see ad group, and ad group, as we have created earlier, is men's watches. And as you click into men's watches, so it's okay that it's enabled here, but paused at the campaign. So long you're paused at the campaign level, you're all safe, because campaign paused, as you can see here. And then once you click into men's watches, you will see these are all the keywords that we have created just now. And then in order to see the ads, you can just click on, so now you see that we are at the campaign level, and this is the ad group name. So now that we are at this campaign level, ad group level already, we can go to click on the ads, and it will go to the ads in the specific ad group. So now you see we have an ad over here, and this is how basically it is sort of like a preview for you to see. And to see a further preview, you can click onto the pencil icon just now, and then you can see the preview right over here and make your edits over here as well. Normally, the ads, after you submitted ready, it will take about probably a few hours or a day to be approved. So just make sure you submit a little bit earlier than the start date itself. So normally the best practice is to create 2 expanded text ad, or like a normal sort of text ad, as you can see here, and 1 responsive search ad, and that will give the machine more runway, more different variations to just test out things. And yeah, the strategy after this will then be to create, as you can see here in the campaigns level, will be then to create campaigns as well under the exact keyword match type, so that you can target different sets of keywords, different sets of customer searches, and also into targeting, should you like to, into branded keywords as well. And then so normally you may have a structure. So personally, when I create campaigns, I will have a structure of at least 4 campaigns. So I would have one which is generic broad, I would have one which is generic exact, and I would have one which is talking about branded broad and then branded exact. So you have these 4 sets of campaigns that's running at the same time, and that will allow you to capture a lot of the demand and in the market. So basically it's like, you know, casting nets and hoping to fish, and identifying which are the nets that catches you the most fish. So I know my camera right here is blocking, but you can see that. So maybe let me just try to pull this. No, I can't pull this. Yes, so let me just try to pull this here, and then you will see that under the tools and settings, you'll be able to go into negative keyword list as well. And this is really a very useful function for you to make sure that, you know, the keywords that that customers are typing in, you don't show up for them. You know, so for example, you're not really into sort of showing your keyword for competitor keywords. You might want to enter your keywords here as well, so that you won't be spending money unnecessarily into competitor keywords. Or say, for example, you know, we do have a lot of keywords looking into jobs, you know, looking into career, looking into pay, looking into tutorial, and I think these are not the keywords that you want to show up for. So there are always like a set of keywords that I may consider sharing with you later on, as well as a resource that you can refer to. What are the sets of negative keywords that you can just put up right at the start, so they can save money at the very beginning. So you may also want to put in like Casio or other like competitor brands that you don't want to show up for, or the keywords that you want to show up for, and basically, or maybe like you may end up with men's clothing, and somehow when you look at your performance of the search terms itself, you show up for clothing, and you may want to negative that keyword as well. So I would say that these are the keywords that you can negative for. Normally what I would do in terms of adding negative keywords is that I will add negative keywords, and I'll put a parenthesis to the site, so that when they show for this set of like say for example, they show for this set of like job salary. Like say for example, Chrono SG job salary. People are interested in applying for your job and they don't really want to buy your watches, and you just want to exclude that keyword just in case. Or like login, login FAQ. So you do have or return policy. So you do have these keywords that you want to be negative for. And so what you want to do is to add parentheses to the start and to the end of each of the keywords over here. And in doing so, you'll then be able to, you will then be able, so I'm not going to do for all of them, but you'll be able to then successfully add negative keywords to your campaign. And you can just name it as negative keyword list 1. And then you press save. Once you save already, it doesn't target any particular campaign because it shows as 0. So you want to go here, tick this particular keyword set, and then apply to campaigns and choose your campaign over here and to apply it. So you'll be able to apply this this set of keywords over to as many campaigns as you want. And I would say that's pretty much it in terms of like the basic things that you want to look out for. And in terms of say the keywords wise, like what people are searching for, it would be good for you to go to under keywords over here and go to search terms, and you'll be able to see what are the keywords that people are searching for that led to your advertisement. Another tool that you want to look at will be Keyword Planner. So now Keyword Planner is a tool that I mentioned earlier that will be able to allow you to find out what are the keywords, the peripheral keywords, or like different combinations of keywords that will give you the ideas on how to set up your campaign. So maybe you may just want to type in like men's watches in Singapore or in US or in several different countries. And then you can just get results, and then you will see a whole list of different keywords over here that you can be targeting. But of course, you will see a lot of the different brands here that you may not be in the range that you're looking for. But it'll be good to see, what exactly is the bid for top of page, low range and a high range, because there's always like a whole range of pricing, right? And you can see like is a competition high, medium, low. So I would say that in terms of competition wise, it's always good to have a selection of high, medium, and low competition keywords. I would say that most of the popular keywords that you will be targeting are probably medium to high. So I would say that is not super important at the beginning, but as you get into the campaigns, as you monitor what are the search terms that people are searching for, you can then farm for all of those search terms and implement it into your keyword sets as well. So say for example, you want to target say analog watches or automatic watches and digital watches, and you want to add the keywords, you can just add it. Oh no, wait. So digital watch, analog and automatic, you can just go to either create an ad group, or you can just and you can select the different keyword match types here as well, and just add the keyword accordingly. But normally what I will do is, because I want to be able to control, I would normally do it manually, and I'll just note down the keywords over here that I saw in an Excel sheet, and then I will go back into the campaigns, and then I'll go to the ad group and I'll go to the keywords. Then I'll add the keywords manually. I think that this is a little bit easier to control, and I think it's more friendly for beginners as well, because you may be making a mistake and don't really know where you're adding that to. So I think that's pretty much it for today, and I hope that this tutorial has been useful for you in coming up with your first Google AdWords campaign, Google Ads campaign, sorry. And I can't wait to see and to hear more comments from you about how's your campaign so far, or any other questions that you'd like to know about how to run a successful Google Ads campaign. Should you like the content today, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and give us a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!